this is Rob Stone from Fox Sports.
Hey guys, this is Cole Liker.
Hi, I'm Neil Collins.
You are listening to the Unused Substitute.
The Unused Substitute.
And you're listening to the Unused Substitutes.
Get off the pitch!
Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood, I got a problem and it's complicated. Going through changes and I just can't ignore the signs. Hear them now, it's so loud it hurts. Hear me growl, hear me howl with the full moon.
On the throw, ball's gonna bounce down a screen in the box. Bicycle kick! Goal! Rowdies! What a play! What a shot! And it's 1-0 Rowdies!
Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. This is the Unused Substitutes, your Rowdies Talk Radio, your green and gold gospel. We are live on Radio St. Pete, part of the Beautiful Game Network, and sponsored by Roughneck Scarves. My name is Matt, and joining me tonight for not the last time, but close, a guy who is still alive in the NHL playoffs. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. My team didn't collapse.
It suddenly hits someone else's. You've disavowed someone, a certain team after last night, huh?
I mean, I didn't disavow. I still am a fan, but to put things into perspective, I've watched the Lightning in the playoffs. 5 of the last 6 years? I've seen them advance in the playoffs. The Islanders, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, they won their first playoff series since 1994. Yesterday, they swept a team for the first time since 1983, since before I was born. I'm enjoying it for a little bit.
This is reminding me of the Hartford Whalers scene in Mallrats.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly how I feel right now.
The Lightning in the playoffs happens all the time, but the Islanders in the second round, it's once in a lifetime.
That's accurate, it feels. I mean, hopefully it's not, but let's keep it going.
All right, well, wait a second. You're not leaving me for rental skates, are you?
I don't think I want to go from this to right now a support group.
To a good podcast, you mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I probably should, check on those guys.
Yeah, shout out to Paul and Ty. We haven't heard anything from them, have we?
I talked to Ty a little bit today.
All right, you did get a proof of life then.
Yeah, they're optimistic. They're an optimistic group. I mean, it stings, but I'm not worried about them.
All right, so the Lightning are out of the playoffs. The big time sports action is going on in St. Pete with your best in the Major League Rays. And your, like I was telling you before the show, I almost mentioned this last night with my words of encouragement. The Rowdies, who have tied their best ever start after 6 games with 12 points. You know what the asterisk there is?
We should.
Because I just told you,
yeah,
but let's pretend like I didn't.
We should just not talk about it.
Yeah, the 12 points was set last year. And it was after Game 6 that it kind of went downhill.
This isn't last year.
But it's not going to happen this year.
Nope, this is not last year.
We're 12 points in 6 games. 6 games unbeaten this year. Last year, 4 wins and 2 losses in the first 6 games. So I'll say we've bettered that at least in the tie-break department. Points are equal. I don't know what the goal differential was, but we'll go ahead and assume we're just doing better just because we haven't lost yet. So, it's not like it's the end of sports in Tampa Bay. And I guess we should talk about the team that we talk about.
So the Rays are doing really well. Oh, that's not the team.
They're winning right now. I think I saw there was a huge home run from someone who doesn't look like someone who hits a huge home run every now and then. So apparently that's good.
And he hits a lot of them, it seems, this season at least.
So, we for one welcome our Rays overlords, I guess, at this point.
Good.
I mean, they're most successful sporting organization that we can think of right now. The two teams combined.
Yeah, I would say.
I mean, they're pretty much the greatest ever. Just saying.
They're doing well.
All right. Well, we had hoped the Rowdies would do a little bit better on Saturday, but in the end, it didn't come to pass. Rowdies won, Louisville won. End up in the draw. Rowdies with the Tenari Galazzo thing of beauty up for goal of the week. Go vote. We'll put links out there again later. Louisville comes back in, what was it, like the 88th minute? Just kind of danced around in the box, and I don't know where were you for when they scored? Like, where were you watching the game from at that point?
I was in the mob.
Okay, so I don't know if you could see from like where I was. I was sitting in my kind of normal seat. Actually, I had gone down field level at that point, and it was just watching that whole little sequence of events. The ball just kept finding its way back to a Louisville player's feet. And after like 3 or 4 seconds of that, it was just like, it's going in somehow. They're going to get one in here. It kind of felt like it had been coming for a few minutes. They've been pushing, they've been pressing for that equalizing goal. And eventually it came. I mean, like I said, I posted online, don't get caught up in the Louisville's injured and they're in bad form. Like, one of the things Neil pointed out, and I haven't gone back to check all the names to see, but Louisville, we talked about them last year. They kind of stood their ground with their roster after winning the first championship, and in the end, it paid off for them. They won a second one. So some of these guys may not be the same level, but they've played together for a while. They know each other pretty well. We're still a team, Neil's tinkering with some players in some positions, and there's going to be some changes this week too. Or I mean, not this week, but the next game. In some cases, they're still finding out, about each other a little bit. So not the result we wanted. Definitely not the result that the players that we talked to after the game wanted, but not totally terrible. Birmingham managed to save us for the evening by knocking off St. Louis, which was nice. But what's your good, bad, ugly?
First, I would like to say that I take back anything and everything bad I ever said about Birmingham. I told them I'd do that, and I feel like I have to hold up my end of the bet there.
I'm not going that far. I just won't say anything bad about them for 2 weeks.
No, I think they deserve a little bit. I'll be nice this week and take back everything bad I ever said. My good was, the movement off the ball that opened up the space for Tenari's gorgeous goal, and McCarthy's play. Let's see. The defense, the team performance on defense was really good. I did not like the fact that we scored early, relatively early, and then kind of turtled. It was unlike a Neil Collins team, which we saw usually push for a second or third goal. Part of that is probably Louisville, the talent of Louisville, and having to respect that and not want to get hit on the counter. But it felt like we put it in neutral a little earlier than normal, and I think that kind of bothered me a bit. The stats, looking at the stats, it was a fairly equal game. But I don't know, man. It wasn't bad. It was entertaining. But I think that was a game we should have been more put more pressure on them. I think we could have got more out of that. And that 88th minute equalizer is pretty heartbreaking.
Yeah, we definitely could have gotten more out of it, and if it wasn't for McCarthy, we would have needed to get more out of it. So, luckily he kind of kept us in the game at that point. Did you have any uglies?
I guess, it's not breaking news or anything, but Hoppenot throwing an unnecessary elbow that I think he got the card for and then is now suspended for. And There was I didn't know who it is on Louisville, but whoever smashed Seba into the advertising rail there, and if you haven't seen the picture of his back, you should. That it got unnecessarily physical at times, and I don't like that. I mean, I don't mind a chippy game, but those two things are uncalled for.
Yeah, it got a little spicy. I don't remember the guy's name exactly. I know Jake said that the guy that Hoppenot ended up getting suspended for going after was the same guy that shoved Guenzati into the boards, well away from the ball. No whistle, no foul. We've got a picture of him bleeding from his upper back where he went into it. So, maybe that's a thing that would get looked at. I'm not going to sit here and say that Hoppenot suspension is unfair. But I think at the same time, I don't know if they even looked at the other incident, because I don't know how you kind of let that one go either. Whatever, I guess. Hoppenot is going to be out for Atlanta. We'll talk about the ramifications of that in a little bit. I don't know. Like I'm kind of exactly where you are as far as the good, the bad, the ugly. I will throw in there another thing under good is there was a nice group of Louisville fans, not just the Hackworth family from in town, but the Louisville fans who came down for the game. It was good to see Patrick Blanton. I know he came last year too. Got a chance to talk to him a little bit at the tailgate this week, and some of the other Louisville fans who were in town. Had a good time. They came over and hung out at the Skyway tailgate, and then saw them in the game. And as I was going in, I said, I hope you guys have a good time, just not too much of one. And I think that's pretty much what we got out of it. The bads, the uglies, I guess. I think I'm kind of right in line where you are on this. I don't think there's anything else to add to it. This is going to seem like a ridiculous question. Who's your man of the match?
It's got to be McCarthy. I mean, for the stops he made to keep us, in that game, and also we talked a couple years ago about Martin Patterson being an intense person, but I don't think I have been at a post-game interview with anybody more intense than Lord Helmet back there.
I was going to say I'm giving it to McCarthy, even if he had let in 3 goals. Just the tone behind his answers. In the post game press conference, I'm scared if I didn't give it to him. It puts it out there. Just asked him how he felt overall after the game, and he's like, I'm pissed off. They were playing the way that we should have been playing. So he kind of echoed some of the things you said about the style, and and I don't think he's wrong. But yeah, guy, like, I think he could look at a piece of charcoal and make a diamond.
Yeah,
guy is seriously intense. Anything else we want to throw in there about the game?
No, I think that's it. Actually, one more thing. Looking at stats here. A 15.4% shooting accuracy is abysmal.
Was that us?
Yeah, 13 shots, 2 on target, which, okay, fine, stuff happens. But we had 8 shots inside the box and only 2 shots on target. We need to do better there, guys.
Yeah. They were way more accurate, 10% or about 10% more in the opposition half. Crossing was about equal. Accuracy was about equal. They had a lot more long passes and a lot more passes overall. So it looks like we were trying to hold on to possession more, especially once we got the goal, I'd say. But
shooting accuracy.
13 to 17, 8 shots on target for them, 2 to us. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, and we're sitting here saying, we've been saying it for weeks, take the shots. Put the shots on target, though, at least, please.
Yeah, I mean, 40. They had 40. I mean, granted, like you said, they had 17 shots, 8 on target, with it's 47% accuracy. We had less shots, only 2 on target with a 50. Anyway, I mean, we
And
can't
it's an
want
equal
to-
amount of block shots, pretty much equal of shots outside the box. They actually had more shots inside the box, but I think they may have been counting a couple in that flurry at the end right before they scored.
Probably.
Plus, you got to figure, well, let's see, 11 shots inside the box. McCarthy saved 7.
Yeah.
One that goes in. Well, if they're,
Yeah, because they had 8 on target, so.
Sometimes it all takes one. And yeah, it's, when you said the amount of shots on target for them, I was thinking at first, I was like, let me look at the block shots. But then I remembered the multiple saves that McCarthy had that were just incredible. Like, the one thing standing out in the stats to me, since you brought it up real quick, well, 2 or 3 things. One, we haven't been great on aerial duels all year because we're frequently at a disadvantage height-wise between our attackers and the other team's defenders. But we came out ahead 52.6% to 47.4%. Not by much, but a little bit. So that's a start. And then defense-wise, only 8 tackles, 25% tackle success rate. Like, we had some issues containing the players and stopping them. And this is the game where we saw, and I tweeted out during the game, I didn't doubt that McCarthy was good. I just really wasn't sure how good he was because he hasn't had a chance to display it, and we got the answer on Saturday night. We're going to see other teams with the ability to press and attack like this. So we're going to have to step it up. I mean, I was encouraged to see, we talked about the movement and the play off the ball 2 weeks ago after we played Hartford. And I kind of worried, how much of that is a factor of who we were playing, but we saw, some similar stuff against Louisville, which is a much more talented team. So that's good.
Yeah, I agree. That's what created the space. I think it was Leo Fernandez that pulled off some defenders for Tenard to take that shot. So that's what we're talking about, why runs off the ball are so important. And it's good to see that's something that's happening moving forward for at least the last 2 games and hopefully continuing on.
By the way, update on the game in progress. New York Red Bulls 2 now leading Hartford by a score of 1-0.
Boo.
In the 54th minute. Although there is a guy there in a Whalers hat to cheer on for Hartford, so that's nice for them.
Yeah, go Whalers.
All right, so let's look around the rest of the Eastern Conference from last Wednesday night to tonight. Scores and standings. Last Wednesday, I think as we were on air, Atlanta 2 was playing Memphis. Atlanta won that game 1-0. Ottawa with a 2-0 win over Loudoun. Charlotte dropped a 1-2 decision to Red Bull 2. Pittsburgh 3-1 over Hartford. These are all last Saturday's games. Atlanta 2-1 over North Carolina FC. After a pretty hot start, North Carolina seemed to have cooled off a little bit. Atlanta's a team we play next, and they're just 2 points behind us now. Bethlehem Steel 3-1 over Charleston. St. Louis 2-3 loss to Birmingham. Thanks, Birmingham. We love you. Nashville 2-0 win over Memphis. Have you seen the whole the ongoing TIFO debate of 2019
about Tim Howard's butt?
The Tim Howard's butt TIFO.
I just don't understand. I mean, that's supporter culture is weird, but if you have to explain your jokes, it's probably not good.
Pendleton's been out there just laying waste to people with his Twitter broadsword. Swope Park lost 1-3 to Indy on Monday night. Charlotte got their first win of the season, 2-1 over Bethlehem Steel last night. And like we said right now, Red Bull 2 currently leading Hartford 1-0.
Can we go back?
Huh?
I totally forgot that.
You totally forgot we had the show tonight, and it's your next to last show.
True, I did forget that. I just forgot it was Wednesday. I didn't forget that I had a show. I just forgot that it was Wednesday. But I forgot that Swope Park was in the East, and I was like, why are we running through their scores?
From the look of their the table so far, I think Swope Park wasn't even aware they were in the East.
I was gonna say, like, does this show that like the West is easier than the East? But then I realized that St. Louis came over here and is on top of the East.
Yeah, I mean, in St. Louis, I think they got in the playoffs last year, and yeah, it's hard to base it off of SWOP because you're the kind of roster turnover they're going to see every year. I think because they were in the championship game the year before we joined.
Yeah, and got decimated by Red Bulls, if I recall.
Yeah, I still am not 100% sure. I think there are some good teams in the West, but I think there's a lot more good teams in the East, hopefully us included. So our current standings right now, St. Louis on top with 13. Thanks to Birmingham's win, we have pulled within a point of first place. At 12, Red Bull 2, 11. Nashville 10, Bethlehem Steel 10, Atlanta 2, 10. Indy has 9, North Carolina FC with 8, Pittsburgh with 8, Charleston with 8. Those are your top 10 teams. The rest of the table is Ottawa at 7, Louisville at 7, Birmingham 6, Memphis 5, Charlotte 4, Loudoun 2, Swope Park 1, and Hartford in the live table is back to 0.
I'm sorry, got distracted there for a second.
What, Lightning going for best 5 out of 9?
No, my cousin just texted me. It's about something.
Oh. All right. So moving on to just random news. We mentioned it earlier. Hoppenot is suspended for this week's, I keep saying this week. There's no game this weekend. Get a nice Saturday off. I can sleep in a little bit. Hoppenot suspended for next Wednesday's game at Atlanta. I mean, if we're going to lose him for a game, I know Atlanta is currently 6th in the table and just 2 points behind us, but I still feel like this is, a game it's not going to be critical to lose him in. What do we see filling? Who do we see filling in for him?
I mean, I only got one more episode after this, so I'm just going to say, please not Brandon Allen.
You're just lighting bridges on the way out, huh?
Yeah. I just want to watch the world burn. No, I mean, I'm 100% honest. Please not Brandon Allen. We have like 4 other strikers. Tejada can do it. Leon Taylor can get a run out if you want the height and speed. He can do it. Who else is out there? Let's see. We got Seba. Malik is hurt, so he's still is rehabbing, so he's not coming back. And then
Jaime Siage could be a possibility, maybe.
Siage, get him out there, give him a run. But I would say, I mean, Tejada started the Memphis game, got a penalty early. Put him out there against Atlanta, see what happens.
All right, I can back that up. I'm good with that. McCarthy, like I mentioned earlier, is in the team of the week, representing the Rowdies as the goalkeeper. Tenari's up for goal of the week. McCarthy's up for save of the week. I'm not sure 100% which one they picked. I just assumed it's the best anyway. We'll put links out there. Go and vote for it. I don't know if they're doing this to like build up some false confidence. But we griped about the USL Power Rankings for a while. And currently, with the St. Louis loss last weekend, they now have the Rowdies ranked number 1 overall in the Power Rankings.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Do you buy it?
That really makes.
Are we the best team?
No.
Is there any? We're 6 games in. Is there a way to tell?
No.
Also, for point of reference, they also list I think Phoenix is the number 4 overall team. They're currently sitting 14th in the West and have 1 win. So
weird.
I'm not sure about that. But the league website is really big on Phoenix. They're kind of pushing them. So I don't know. It almost feels like when USF's football team was number 2 in the nation and then lost a bunch of games. I don't expect that we're going to go and lose a bunch of games, but I don't know that if I looked at the league right now, I'd say we are the top team, but I'll take it.
I mean, yeah, definitely, but I don't like that.
Open Cup draw for the second round was published today. The round where the USL teams enter. The Rowdies will be hosting. It'll be May 14th or 15th at Ao Lang, and it will be the winner as I suspected, of the Lakeland Tropics or the Villages. Who do you want?
I mean, as a fan, I think building up a little bit of a rivalry with Lakeland would be fun.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly, it'll be fun against either team for me. I mean, I don't know anything about either of them. Maybe we should have like DePinto on to talk about the Tropics, but I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, you think we should have your replacement as a co-host on to talk about the other team he actually likes? Did I just break some? No, that. Now I'm not saying it's not DePinto, but I'm not saying it is.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You haven't talked.
We are currently active in the podcast co-host transfer market, looking to make a signing in the near future. Hopefully, very near future, because we've only got a week left with you.
Yeah. Hopefully soon.
Yeah. Well, actually, since he's suspended, maybe Hoppenot can fill in next week for you. We can just cut you out today.
Yeah, that's fine. Bye. I'm out.
And get him on. We can increase our visibility and our ratings in the French market.
He speaks his French is really good. I didn't understand a word of it.
I could introduce myself. I could ask him. Well, I don't want to say what I could ask him because it's not appropriate. Even for the internet airwaves. I'm excited to see either one of these teams, like someone new coming in. There's a lot of crossover with Rowdies fans and Tropics fans, especially for the indoor team. I kind of wouldn't mind seeing the Villages, so we can do a green and gold versus unclean and old chant. I'd be down with that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we've been asking.
The Buffalo.
Yeah, we've been asking for the Villages here for a while, so it'd be exciting.
I'm going to see them one way or the other because they have to come down and play Sarasota in League 2. I think Villages is League 2, or are they League 1? They're League 2, aren't they?
I have no idea, to be honest.
I think they're League 2. All right, the other thing I noticed literally right before we went on, and I saw something about this on Saturday night when I got home from the game. The founder of the World Soccer Talk website, like that's a site that I know. I guess he's based out of Miami. Came up for a game for the first time ever. Nice little write up about the stadium, the game, the club, Ralph's Mob, everybody. So go check it out. I retweeted it. Next game is next week against Atlanta. And we're going to do episode 200. This is 199, Dan.
Oh, it's so weird.
That's a big number. That's like almost as old as me.
Getting there.
Man. So we're going to do a live show somewhere. I'm going to talk you into that option. I'm just saying. If you're gonna go out, you gotta go out in a blaze of glory, surrounded by your loved ones. It sounds like a deathbed kind of thing.
If I can get Casey to come with and drive down or something, where I don't know, I'll figure it out. It's just and maybe I can stay at hers and then just drive up in the morning for work.
I'm telling you, get like an Airbnb or something down here. I've got a new lawn service out. My backyard's nice and chopped down right now. We can just throw a tent out there for you if you want.
Well, Casey's halfway between there and here, so I can crash there and then just get up in the morning and drive up. That would probably be easiest.
I've got a hammock that fits too. Just saying, we can host both of you here. I'm fine with that.
We'll see. I should. I mean, it's my last show. It is the 200th show.
Look, the first show you drove all the way down here.
The last show I should as well.
You've got to come full circle, don't you?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, we'll see how work goes, but it shouldn't be too bad. So I guess I can do that.
All right, we'll verify everything over the weekend and post about it. Because I had a couple of things planned, and it would be a big help if you were here in person.
Yeah,
Even
I
if
can
it
do
sucks
it.
to make you drive all that way on the last time.
I'll do it. I'll be there.
All right. Now that I've guilted you into that, see, I don't have too many years left on this earth. You gotta throw me some favors. I mean, this could be the last time we ever see each other.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think so either, but it could be. You never know.
That's true. You never know.
You never know. What I just read today that they think a meteor from another solar system hit the Earth in 2014. What if another one hits me tomorrow?
That would be crazy. I would go play the lottery.
I mean, I would kind of not be against that. Way the world's going, I could just take a meteor. It wouldn't be too bad. This got dark really quick, didn't it?
Yeah. This took a turn.
And I don't mean like daylight savings time dark. I like dark. All right, so there will be Rowdies will play Atlanta United next week. We will be live after for Dan's last stand, the Dance-demonial. I can't decide if it's Dance-demonial or Test-to-Daniel, but that one sounds kind of weird in a different way.
Yeah, let's not do that one.
Is it Dance-demonial then?
Yeah, that sounds best.
But that sounds like one of those weird like dance like video games they used to make for the PlayStation or the Xbox.
I used to love Dance Dance Revolution.
Dan's Revolution.
Yep.
They've got a jukebox in this place that we're going to be at. We can get some dancing going.
No, we're not doing. I can't handle that anymore.
Yeah, look, either you dance or I sing. It's one of those is going to happen.
I'm definitely. My knees are too bad for me to be dancing.
Look, you can't steal my reasons for everything.
I mean, my knees are terrible. And Red Bull 2 scored
Again. So Hartford sinking to what would it be like their 7th straight loss? Yeah, it's rough. That's rough for them. All right, well. It's been. Is there anything else we need to throw out there?
I don't think so.
We're only 30 minutes in. It's hard because like
Wow.
there's I don't really want to preview Atlanta right now because, first of all it's a B team. Second of all, we got a week and a half. Like, I'll throw out there. So what with no Rowdies game on the schedule? What are you doing this weekend?
I'm going across the state to Casey's family's and celebrating her mom's birthday and also Easter and just hanging out. I have to go to a sunrise, on the beach sunrise service on Easter. So, things are getting wild this weekend.
They let people like you into things like that?
I mean,
do they know?
I don't think her family does.
You'll be getting some of the you're not from around here. Wait, where on the other side of the state are you going?
Basically Cape Canaveral.
Oh, okay. It might be all right. If you were getting like further down the coast towards like where my parents are nowadays, you'd definitely be getting some you're not from around here.
I'm surprised I don't
looks.
over there. It's just as bad as it is in Pasco County.
I saw in the paper they're thinking about dissolving the city of Port Richey, like just scrapping the whole government and someone else is going to take over control of the city.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. That was just like, I don't know, a harebrained idea. I don't think they would let that happen. I mean, I don't know, but...
I mean, it's Port Richey. Anything could happen at this point, it seems like.
That's true. But that's something I'm interested in watching for reasons.
All right. Well, I guess you don't have room for guests to come along on that one. But if you guys have nothing to do this Saturday, and you feel like coming down to Sarasota, we're having most of the Skyway Casual group will be out there at Shamrock. There's an 8-team 5-on-5 double elimination outdoor basically futsal tournament going on called the Townie Cup. It's 4th annual. There's a trophy. It gets engraved with the names of the winners. Some of us will be out there playing. I'm kind of managing the tournament, basically filling in the brackets and collecting injury waivers because I don't know if you've ever seen out back there. Like it's about as bad as a piece of asphalt as there is, but they've been doing this for every year now, and it's for 4 years, and it gets a good crowd out there.
I think they should get some sledgehammers and break up the asphalt and then just play on the dirt, like pack the dirt.
I mean,
go
it's
from
still
there.
better than Slugger Field.
I mean, it's basically playing like a Louisville away.
Kind of. So if you want to come down there, first game kicks off at 11. The championship game or games, depending on how it works out, it might be a double elimination for the championship as well. Will be at 6 o'clock, and then there's like a post-tournament party. I'll be out there all day running this thing. So if you want something to do, come. Like the registration's closed, but come hang out and heckle these guys instead. It'll be a lot of fun. There's something else just like in my head, and I've totally forgotten about it. That sucks. Feels like it's was something on Twitter, but I don't. Oh, one more film reference, at least. I don't know if I have any next week that I'll at the top of my head. You might get this one. I just want to see if it. So someone posted online. I think it was Cundiff actually. Lightning had one of the best seasons in NHL history, and then are swept in the first round. How can you possibly equate this to something like what's the equivalent? And my response was when Scotty found out about Fiona and Matt Damon.
Scotty doesn't know about Fiona.
Oh, you got finally.
Yes, I mean
199 episodes and you got a film reference.
I got the Mallrats reference too, but yes, I do know.
But I gave the name of the movie out there.
I mean, I have.
All right, I even said Eurotrip in the tweet. I didn't want to throw it out there in case you had a chance of actually getting it. Oh, I'm proud of you. Look at you've grown.
I mean, that Eurotrip was right post high school for me, so that was right in the wheelhouse.
I want to say, when did that come out? That it was somewhere in college for me, but it was it was a good time.
Let's see when Eurotrip came out because I have a computer right in front of me.
Oh yeah, I do too. Let's see.
Released it February 20th, 2004. So yeah, I was at a high school.
Wow, that's a 21st century movie?
Yeah.
Good Lord, I was thinking that was 98 or 99 or something.
Road Trip was 2000. That's weird. I remember that one too. I mean, I vaguely remember that one, but I watched it.
Dude, Eurotrip is 15 years old.
Dang, man. Not another team movie. Deuce Bigalow was in 2005 as well? What?
They should do another Eurotrip.
Okay, now I feel really old.
With Scotty and Mika going back on vacation or something.
Here's one. The Hangover is 10 years old.
Yeah, I can see. Was it something like The Matrix is 20?
Oh my gosh. I remember
25 or something?
An a old right after high school girlfriend and I marathoned the Matrix movies one night. I randomly bought them at Walmart and then we just binged all three in a row, which back then seemed like a big deal because now everybody just binges everything on Netflix anyway. Well,
but I mean, just putting up with the second two, which I saw them in theaters and I didn't love them, but I think they're better than they get credit for.
Definitely.
They're just not as creative or as innovative as the first one.
Dude, Where's My Car was in 2000.
Oh god, the first Matrix though, that and you remember Varsity Blues?
I Don't Want Your Life.
All right, so those were the two movies because when we were all in college and you moved out of the dorms, and you got an apartment and you spent some money on a surround sound system. That was the two scenes you always played to make sure you had it set up right. Was the Neo going into the lobby of whatever the federal building was, the government building with all the duffel bag of guns, and then the thunderstruck football scene from Friday night, or from Varsity Blues.
True.
Good scenes too. This podcast is taking a turn.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you run out of material halfway through.
I just don't want to let you go yet. Oh, I know. We got to throw some. I meant to put this in the goods as well too. Everybody we talk to.
Yeah, I was gonna save all that for next week, but or at least my we love you, but I guess we're here, and everybody that came up before the game, during the game, the mob and the casuals chanting my name post game. Oh, I can't say it because we're live on the air, but holy yes, Batman.
So I got to tell you, like I didn't like tell them to do that or say, hey, this would be a cool idea. But I had a feeling that was going to happen.
I did
So I just wanted to
not.
make sure we were like down on the field, like right near the end of the game. And like I posted, like I felt like, because this has been kind of quick that this has all happened. And I felt like I had come to grips with it. And then all of a sudden, like I was shook. And I was like, geez, like, I'm only imagining how you feel.
I mean, yeah. I'm glad I still have like this episode to kind of just go. But next week, man, like, I don't know. It's a lot harder than it seems, and the outpouring of love at the game, and then and on Twitter and everything is overwhelming. Just absolutely overwhelming, and it's going to be hard next week. It's really going to be difficult.
I'm serious though. If that's all it takes to get a bunch of love from people and people telling you you're great, I'm just going to not podcast too.
You got to keep this. Somebody's got to keep this thing going. We've put in way too much effort into to just walk away. And think
We
about
can find 2 new people in a week, can't we?
Do we have I mean, it's been a week. Do we have another person for me?
We have some potentials.
Yeah.
We're trying to get some in for physicals and figuring out the agent's fees and everything else. But like I said, we're active in the podcast co-host transfer market.
Good.
There's some possible players from the academy we might call up.
I hope so.
Maybe someone is there a Tampa Bay United podcast? Is someone I can get from there to fill in?
I hope so. That would be amazing.
Or I'm gonna get I'm gonna get the new guy from the broadcast booth. That's who I'll get.
There's a new.
That guy's fun to listen to. Have you listened to him?
No.
Ryan Davis. He's on Twitter now. It's Ryan Davis COYR, I think. He gave me a follow. Gave the podcast a follow over the weekend. So follow him back. Dude is seriously like he's fun to listen to. I mean, and part of it is like an accent, but part of it is just the way he describes the game is a lot of fun. Him and Felios are a really good combination this year.
Good. I mean, I'm sure now that I'll be watching more games from the comfort of my home, and I'll catch those. Oh God, that's so sad. I'm not gonna be.
You're still not ready to say what's going on, are you?
No, you guys are gonna have to wait at least another like 2-3 weeks before any of that comes out.
I've seen some hints about it.
Yeah, there's been one, I think, major hint that dropped today, but we're getting there. We're getting there. After my little vacations, my weekend trips, I will probably put the wheels in motion, and it'll be out there.
Will you come back on the show to discuss what it is? Discuss / promote.
Yeah, I will gladly come back and we can discuss it once all that happens.
It'll be like you've never left. But I'll be there with someone new because I'll be over you, Dan.
And that's fine.
I'll have moved on. No, I'll never be over you.
I'm used to that.
So you're not going to be at the next home game. You said, when am I going to see you at Outling again?
I haven't looked that far ahead on the schedule yet, but I mean, that's partly why I had to step away because I can't make promises on when I'll be back.
One thing real quick, I was just, because I still have the stats page open in front of me. Attendance of 5,707.
That's pretty good for a third game of a homestand.
Yeah, so I figured out, I think, well, at least this is part of the idea, at least because I said since we won against Hartford, keep the half price beer thing going. But I was thinking about it. I think actually in the parking lot of the tailgate and then going in, and it maybe if they continue doing this as a thing, like half price drafts before kickoff, it'll like hit the intended effect. But you notice how like the game starts and you're like, oh my God, there's like 3,000 people here. And then 5 minutes in, you look around and you're like, well, that filled in. Like there's always kind of the late arriving crowd, and they're hitting the concession stands or the food trucks or whatever else first. I think the idea is to get people in, obviously, and in the seats for the game, like at kickoff.
You would think, but it's not working yet.
And also get them in prime voice for it. I gotta say, this is probably going to cause them to go around and change things, but I'm a big fan of the half-off beer stand being about 10 feet from the entrance to the referee's locker room.
Yeah, I don't think you should have said anything.
Yeah, well, doesn't matter now. But I felt we gave them some positive and some constructive criticism, and they chose to ignore it for the most part.
Yeah, they just kept going.
Because we did say, please don't suck, and whatever. The referees, you can't expect much out of them. All right, let's wrap this one up early.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we might need some extra time next week.
Yep, 199 in the books.
Dan's Revolution. That's going to be the name of it right there. I can't believe we went 199 and not used that one.
Me too, actually. I'm surprised.
That's a good one. All right, so wrap it up. Did you basically do your We Love You?
Yep.
I'm going to say it too. Everybody is like I'm still here in 2 weeks, like as far as I know. But the number of people coming up and saying nice things to you, and then recognizing that I was there and coming up with something nice to say to me also was very pleasing. Like I've never been like the kind of person to kind of like self-promote or put too much thought into like, oh, I'm doing something that people like. It's kind of a weird spot to be in, but to hear it, like so many people, and then the kind of stuff that was being said, it was kind of an eye-opening night, really.
Yeah, it's a little interesting. I mean,
you're going to poop on all these people. You're pooping on them. Don't want you to feel guilty about it, Dan, but you are pooping on them.
I've always compartmentalized everything and keeping kind of a distance, and not really thought this thing was anything more than it was just us having a conversation about soccer. And then in this last week or two, the amount just having people come up and saying, hey, like, you guys basically were my introduction to the Rowdies. You guys are what's got me coming to more games and helped me learn the team and this, and like just dang, man. I can't do this. I love you guys.
You're not pulling out the Wolf of Wall Street scenes over here, are you? You're about to smack yourself in the head and say you're not going anywhere?
No, I have to go, but I don't want to go. I'm David Tennant at the end of. I was
gonna say you had to verbalize your that is your favorite GIF, isn't it?
I mean, that's me right now. Yeah, like that's gonna be me next week, especially.
Well, it better not rain next week. That's all I'm gonna say.
If it does, that GIF is gonna be basically me.
All right. So our combined We Love Yous are basically to everybody, even Birmingham. You've earned it this week. If you'd like to support the show on an ongoing basis, buying new co-hosts can be rather expensive, so we could always use an extra boost in the tank. You can go to patreon.com/unusedsubspod. And now I'm kind of glad that I still haven't updated it, because I got to figure out new things now that it's not going to be you.
Yeah, we gotta find a co-host.
Like, who is this new person and what food do they hate? I got to find this stuff out.
Yeah,
basically, what can we make them do to take attention off of me having to do anything? I know what I'm here for. So you can do that. There will be updated perks and things coming along very soon. I keep saying, but there will be. Give us a rating and review wherever you're listening to this, on Google Play, on Stitcher, on TuneIn, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on now we're throwing them up there on YouTube still. So, anything to put us and our name out in front of more people, introduce more people to the Rowdies, bring them along on this nutso ride that we've been on for a few years. Thank you, as always, to Wolfface for the theme music, to Radio St. Pete for the platform, and thanks to our sponsor at Roughneck Scarves, the official scarf supplier of MLS, USL, and US Soccer. Get custom scarves for your group or team at roughneckscarves.com. Dan, for the next to last time, hit the music.
The Rowdies were here, the Rowdies were there, they kicked the wall around. The Rowdies were here, the Rowdies were there.